So here is the Angel of the North, which is a sculpture in close to Newcastle. It's actually south of the River Tyne, and therefore it's actually in Gateshead, not in the city of Newcastle, but it's close to Newcastle, and we will be there soon. And it's apparently the largest angel sculpture in the whole world, and it was created by a man called Anthony Gormley, and he's a famous British sculptor. When I say sculptor, I mean he's done quite modern things, because Fina and I, we've also been to Liverpool, and in Liverpool he's created some kind of like exhibition or something by the waterside, by the sea, which is called Another Place. But here, of course, it's an angel, and it is fantastic. It does look a bit like an aeroplane, actually, in many ways, but it is a marvellous thing. So here we are in front of the Angel of the North, and it's a very famous sculpture created by Anthony Gormley about 20 years ago, and it's very, very famous in Britain, certainly in England, and it's I suppose it symbolises, well, it's I suppose a religious symbol, but it's very famous, and it's made of steel, and so it's kind of rusty coloured, which is part of the plan, you know, to turn into rust, but it's very stable and strong, and it will last, I suppose, for hundreds and hundreds of years, I suppose. But it's quite a kind of symbol, certainly of the north of England, in the Newcastle area. What do you think, Fina?
Teman-teman, ya seperti yang Tim bilang, North of Angel, ini kami berada di Newcastle. Sementara cuaca sangat bagus sekali di bulan April ini. Teman-teman, Newcastle atau ini yang terkenal North of Angel adalah simbol dari mana?
Well, it's a symbol basically of the north of England, but it's an angel. It's called the Angel of the North.
The North Angel. Oke, teman-teman, kami berada di Newcastle dan kami akan ajak kalian untuk jalan-jalan melihat tempat-tempat yang bagus. Kita jalan lagi.
See you soon. So, in front of us, that very strange looking futuristic building is actually the Sage, which is an enormous concert hall, and it's one of the examples of the modern architecture in this fine city of Newcastle. And then we come out, and here we can see the River Tyne, and the famous bridge there. Over there is the famous Tyne Bridge, and further up is the high level bridge, and there are traditionally 5 bridges across the Tyne, and that was a very famous album by a pop group in the 1960s or 70s called The Malice, and it was a fantastic album. 5 bridges. So as we go here, and then over there we can see, I think it looks a bit like an opening and closing eye, the Archway Bridge, and it's a footbridge over the River Tyne. Now let's walk across here, and there we can see again on the south bank in the town of Gateshead, on the other bank of the River Sage.
Sekarang ini kami berada di tengah kota Newcastle, ya, dan kami berada di belakang kami itu ada sungai Sage, ya, sungai yang berada di tengahnya Newcastle, ya kan?
Well, yes, and it is a fantastically interesting city. It's maybe 2 or 3 hours north of where we live in Chesterfield, but it is very, very different, and it is a beautiful city, and it has a kind of distinctive identity. It seems a bit, well, it's further away from, you know, London and so on, and therefore it definitely has its own character.
Ya betul teman-teman, gedung-gedungnya dan bentuk bangunannya juga unik ya. Pokoknya seneng banget deh di sini dan nggak berapa 3 jam ya dari tempat kita rumah ya. So teman-teman, kami menikmati suasana di Newcastle sini dan kami akan terus ajak kalian untuk melihat sekeliling ada apa di Newcastle.
Now, I'll just move around and so you can see up the river is the Tyne Bridge over there, and downriver is the Baltic, which is a large old converted flour mill. So in other words, there are a lot of interesting places. Some are old and some are new, like the Sage just behind us.
Ya, betul teman-teman. I wish you were here.
Hi. So there is the Millennium Bridge, which is a footbridge, and then just to the right you can see the Baltic flour mill, which, as I say, was a flour mill, and now it's been converted into a museum. And this is looking towards the River Tyne, looking in an easterly direction, and down there, quite a long way away, about 10 miles away, is the sea, the North Sea.
의미를 찾고 있는 날 Tell me what you wanna do 누군가 앞을 알려줘 What can I do Oh no, beautiful nightmare 또 끌리고 있어 Beautiful nightmare I don't wanna lose myself again 이게 사랑인가
So, directly ahead in the distance is the statue of Earl Grey, which is right in Monument Square, which is normally considered to be the centre, the very centre of Newcastle. But what I really want to discuss is the fact that Newcastle is constructed of beautiful stone structures. It's all made of a very rich, mellow coloured stone. And to me that is perhaps one of the most beautiful kinds of stone.
myself again 이게 사랑인가
Gateshead Station, just across the river from Monument and Central Station in Newcastle. And what is noticeable is that people are coming out of the station now, but it's very, very quiet compared with a big city like London, which is strange because Newcastle has an absolutely marvellous metro system, but it certainly has much less use here than it has in London. But it is a very, very good system.
아직 아물지도 못한 상처 속에 의미를 찾고 있는 날 Tell me what you wanna do 누군가 나쁠 알려줘 Can I do
Oke teman-teman, itu tadi ya, kami sudah berkeliling-keliling, lihat tempat-tempat yang bagus dan juga naik kereta bawah tanah untuk melihat ke cross dari sungai itu. Dan kami sangat menikmati sekali, dan terlebih juga cuaca mendukung teman-teman ya. Matahari bersinar terus, walaupun agak sedikit dingin tapi nggak banyak dingin ya. Yang pasti teman-teman, kamu juga menikmatinya kan?
Oh yeah, and behind me, that great big statue, I can show the top. On the top is a politician of about 200 years ago, and his name is Earl Grey, and he was responsible for a lot of political reform in England.
Ya, dan kalau kamu juga tahu, Earl Grey juga nama sebuah produk dari teh yang terkenal ya,
Exactly.
yang dia sangat suka
Earl Grey tea,
Earl Grey
very, very
tea ya.
nice.
Itu sangat enak teh sekali yang berasal dari Inggris. Teman-teman, terima kasih untuk kesetiaan kalian bersama The Adventure of Fina and Team. Untuk kalian yang baru menemukan channel kami, ayo dong thumbs up-nya dan juga subscribe ya, supaya kami bersemangat untuk membagikan dan berjalan-jalan ke tempat-tempat yang menarik untuk kalian semuanya. Oke teman-teman, take care, sampai jumpa, and bye.